Now you have completely written all 5 agents. So don't write all the 5 agents in one shot. Just write one single agent, then move on. And finally, when you are confident with your code, just increment your code by adding agents one by one. Now in this session, you'll be learning about some additional components that could be present in an agent, which are the protocol checkers and coverage components. But these are not acting on interface level, but they are acting on the multi-interface level. So we'll see the implementation. So I have written a file like AXI protocol checker.sh. The purpose of this class is to collect transactions coming from different agents and do some checking so that nothing is missing in between, and club them together and do a single transaction, pack them as a single transaction, either as a single write transaction or as a single read transaction, and send it to a higher level analysis port appropriately. So again, initially you can ignore this class. You can just go through this video, but you don't need to implement it initially. And when you're confident, you can implement it. So as I said earlier, since it is collecting transactions from 5 different agents, it is using 5 different UVM TLM analysis FIFO parameterized AXI based transaction with the names write address, write data, write response, read address, and read data. And as I said, again, after collecting this transaction, after comparing everything, those will be combined. All the write address, data, and responses will be combined together and written into an analysis port named write aport. So this aport will have a complete write transaction, and in the same way, these two these two transactions coming in these two FIFOs will be combined together and put into the read analysis port. And in between, if there is some error is seen, it will be flagged. So this is acting as a wrapper for all the transaction. So you are wrapping up different transactions in different agents together into a single transaction, so that it is easy to handle in the next layer protocol, next layer checkers, and next layer coverage components, etc. Again, you can combine these read and write transactions together and put it into another analysis port. That means every transaction that is written into this port and this port will be written into this port as well, if at all you need it to connect it to a single analysis port in the higher level. So this is just application specific. If you don't want, you can ignore this. So this logic 3.0 is defined as a type def, which is used across multiple definitions. So I'm using the logic I'm using here is I am using different arrays: write address array, write data array, and write response array. And to make things very simple, the assumption is that for a write transaction, first should be coming in the write address channel, then the completed its completed data should be coming in the write data channel, and finally the completed response should be coming back through the response. So what I'm doing is I'm using intermediate FIFOs or intermediate arrays to save the transaction that is coming in between. So we'll see them where these are used. And here you can just see that these are associative arrays in Systemverilog, which is holding an AXI transaction type and which is indexed with this AXI type ID, which is indexed with this the ID type of the transaction. And in the build phase function, you will create all these FIFOs and analysis port. And in the check phase function, so this is again important, you need to make sure that in the check phase function of the UVM phase, none of these arrays are should have any values. All of them should be empty. So I will come to know why this should be empty while go through this code. And in the run phase, you are forking 5 different tasks which will process write address, data, response, and read address and data individually. And let's see the first task, which is a process write address channel. So within a for-hour loop, whenever you are getting some values in the FIFO, you will see whether it is already existing in this array. Then if it is already existing in this array, it is an error. You will see why it is an error will come through this other 2 tasks. Otherwise, if there is no error, you will push when you are getting a write address transaction, you will be pushing that particular transaction into the right address associative array, which will be indexed with this ID of the transaction. And in the same way, the write data task, whenever you are getting a data on the write data FIFO, you will first see if this is already existing in this write data array. Otherwise, it is a good transaction, it will be pushed into the write data array transaction. And finally, when you get a write response transaction, that is the time a completed address and data had already sent to this channels. At that time, what you will see is, first you will initialize the channel transaction as null, and you will see if whether this ID is already existing in the right address and right data associative arrays. If they are not already existing, that means when a response is received, the corresponding right address and right data transactions are missing those in the address and data channel. So it's a violation. So something has happened wrongly in somewhere, either in the DUT or in the dustbin. So you need to flag an error. The ID doesn't exist. If it is already existing in the right address array, then what you will do is you will pop out from this array and you will delete that transaction from this array. And in the same way, for the right address array, you will make this check again, and you will pop out this array. If there is no issues, if there are no errors, you will pop out it into a temporary transaction, and you will delete it immediately. And also to this, the final channel transaction class, channel transaction dot address will be assigned to this temp transaction dot address. So you can see that the channel transaction was initially taken from the data array, which had multiple fields. So to that same transaction, you will be copying the address which is coming from the right address channel or right address FIFO. And finally, if that is not null, that is some value has been taken to this channel transaction, you will be filling the response with this. You will fill the response from the response transaction. You can see that this was already taken from this response FIFO. And after that, you will be writing it to the write analysis port. So at this point, in this channel transaction, you have the complete write transaction, which have the address field, the data field, and the response field. So then you will be writing it to the right address channel. So that is why while coming to the last stages of this, that is the reason while coming to the check phase, all these arrays should be empty. Now in the same way, for read address and read data, this will be synchronized by using an internal associative array, which is a read address array. So whenever you are seeing, so in the read address array, whenever you are getting a transaction, first you will check whether it is already existing or not. If it is existing, it is an error. Otherwise, it will be pushed into this array. And whenever you get the data for this transaction, if it is already existing, you will pop it out and fill those fields and send to the read analysis port. Otherwise, it will flag an error saying that this corresponding ID is not existing in the address field, which is a protocol violation. Also, you will quickly go through the protocol coverage implementation. So I'll be writing into the AXI coverage.sh file, which is copied and pasted here. So it is this is extended from the UVM subscriber. It got a transaction, and I have simply defined a simple coverage like a write coverage and read coverage. So you can add as many coverage as you want here if you are interested. And in the functional part, you can see that in the new, you should create these two, and also you have to create the coverage appropriately, which I haven't done here. And in the right part, whenever a transaction is put into this thing, if it is right, you should sample this write coverage. Otherwise, you should sample this read coverage. It should be RD. Alright, we have successfully written the protocol checker and coverage, the protocol coverage thing. So this is a higher level coverage thing, and the coverage that you have seen in an interface agent was just acting on a particular interface only. If it is a right address, it had just information about the right address. So this is the best place to define cross coverage and all other things. And you need to instantiate this coverage file, this coverage class, and this protocol checker class along with other 5 different agent classes into a higher level AXI agent class, which you will see in the next video. So before that, let's just compile and make sure that this is compiled clean. I have forgotten to include these things here. You have to make sure that you are including these 2 files here. Again, let's run it again. While you write your own code, you will get a lot of compile issues. Don't worry, take your own time. Always adopt a step-by-step approach. Make it compile clean one by one.